Hey everybody, welcome to the Dota 2 Canada Cup Season 5. I'm your caster for this game number 2 of the Funk Bunch going up against INTZ Esports. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it for Game 1, so Das Turbo subbed in for me. Thank you very much, and shout out to that guy. And, well, draft is already underway. As you can see, the Storm Spirit and the Vengeful Spirit banned out by the Funk Punch, as well as the Bat Rider and the Troll Warlord for INTZ Esports. Earthshaker and Lion, the grabs for each respective team. And I was watching the previous game, so we saw the Troll Warlord. Well, he did some work. He got the job done in the end. It was a very long hold coming up from the Funk Punch. They did their best, but in the end, they were not able to get that rubber band in their favor. And INTZ, they were able to finish it out. Hopefully, game number 2 will be a little bit cleaner for each team, respectively. But nonetheless, we are underway with an Axe and a Zeus pick as well to follow up. I imagine this is going to be a off-lane Axe, probably the mid-lane Zeus, support line, and then the support Shaker. So Shaker very good at deterring some pushes as well. Maybe they expect to play a little bit later style of a game, a little bit more sit-back potential, but either way, we'll have to wait and see. Dazzle and Sniper banned out for the Funk Bunch, as well as the Spectre and the Enigma on the Radiant side. Just going into here. So, as far as position 1 carries off, Juggernaut's still in the pool, the one we see fairly often. Slark, another option as well. Kind of very common hero around with a lot of these NA teams, South American teams. I'm not exactly sure where each of these teams are from, but nonetheless. Moving forward from there, Juggernaut, Slark, again options. The Spectre banned out, kind of curious ban there. Maybe fearing the global strategy with the Zeus. Nonetheless, who else could they grab? That's pretty common right now. Sometimes you see a little bit of Wraith King. Excuse me. Oh, why am I blanking so hard? Slardar is another one that comes up from time to time. Sorry if the stream hitches at all. It should be okay. I think my internet is fluctuating a little bit, unfortunately. But not a whole lot we could do. Sniper's another one that could get picked up as well. But, oh, they're going to go for the Slark. Witch Doctor is well picked up. With the Witch Doctor, Zeus, lots of range. Lion as well. Funk Punch might look for Faceless Void a little bit later. Maybe INTZ choosing to block that pick with the Skywrath Mage. But Bristleback quickly snagged up as well. Once these teams figure out what they want, they know. They grab their combo. With the Funk Bunch, I imagine it's going to be that off-lane Bristleback. They can still pick up their safe laner, maybe a Faceless Void, but not hero you see too often. They're going to need somebody who can go up against the Slark. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Juggernaut ban here from INTZ Esports. Maybe they themselves can pick up that mid-lane hero. They're going to actually ban out the Phoenix, so they're assuming it's a safe lane Bristleback. A little bit curious, but we'll see what they want to go there. Funk Bunch, I think, need to ban out a mid, some sort of team fight. They're going to ban out the Queen of Pain, probably a good call. Definitely a popular pick right now with some of the buffs and changes she's been getting recently, especially to her ultimate, dealing pure damage through BKB and all of that. What else? Mid lane heroes, you can see a Puck. You don't see that too often anymore, but once in a blue moon you do. Lena's another hero that hasn't been touched yet in this draft. We saw her in the previous game. Maybe she'll get picked up again. Often run her in the mid now. She's kind of transitioned into that core role with the Axe upgrade and just how much damage she can really do, especially when paired up with other heroes. And when she's got some people to hide behind. They're going to go for the Shadow Fiend. I don't know how I could forget him. The Shadow Friend, very popular since just before the DAC is when he really turned up the heat and came back into the meta. Funk Bunch, I still think Juggernaut would be a good pick. Somebody that can close in Magic Community to dodge the Shadow Fiend's Yule's combination if he wants to go that route. Can get out of Slark, Skywrath Mage. Does hurt him a little bit, and so does the Axe Call, but at the same time, there's no perfect counters. You can go Manta to get rid of this, to dodge the Skywrath Mage, and I think he'd be a good one position for them. The other options, if they want to go for maybe an offlaner and run something a little more aggressive, they could run offlaner. I guess like Centaur, Tide are okay. I think that leaves them pretty weak as far as if the game starts going a little bit later after like the 35-minute mark. They're going to be in a pretty rough spot. But nonetheless, they've got a minute and 35 seconds to think about it, and so there's lots of different options they can go for if needed. I still think the Jug would probably be the best choice. But there are some other things. I think Sven would get kited too easily. Same with the Wraith King. He would probably just die multiple times, get kited around by the Slark, pinched in place, slowed by the Scarith Mage, stemmed up by the Earthshaker. They're gonna dodge a lot of things. Actually, they're gonna choose to go for the Razor. Maybe running a off-lane Razor or safe lane Razor, off-lane Bristleback. I still assume it's going to be the Zeus in the mid lane, but they could look to change things up. I've seen Zeus run in the off lane. I don't think it does too well, but I have seen him there, so maybe they're going to look for that. Probably, I would say leaving Zeus up against the Shadow Fiends is okay. Zeus can prevent him from getting denies and harass him back fairly well up in the early game. But well, we're just waiting for the final player on INTZ to pick up the Slark, and then the game will be underway.
5 seconds.
As far as the lanes go for INTZ, I think they're pretty standard. You're going to have the off-lane Axe, who can go into the jungle if he needs to. Shadow Fiend's going to be in the mid lane. And then moving forward... Oh, geez, why is it so zoomed in? There we go. But Shadow Fiend will be in the mid lane with the Slark, Skyrith Mage in the safe lane. Earthshaker might be roaming and stacking. We'll see which one they want to get a little more farm on. I imagine they'll probably prioritize the Earthshaker getting a little bit of farm he can in order to get that Blink Dagger, which he will need eventually, either for initiation or just to escape and position better for fissures and different things like that. OBS is telling me I'm dropping a couple of frames every now and then. I do apologize, guys. Hopefully it goes away, though. I would hate to have to restart the stream, but I'm going to just double check quickly and see if there's anything running in the background that I can get closed real quick. Well, it doesn't look like there's too much open, so we'll have to hopefully just roll with it. It's enough theory crafting for the Radiant. On the Dire side, I imagine it'll just be Razor probably in the safe lane, Bristleback in the off lane, then the two supports. Sorry, yeah, Razor safe lane, Zeus mid lane, Bristleback in the off lane with the two supports probably roaming. They have a really good roaming combo. Oh, as it looks like INTZ are going to be ready to go. Oh, a little hiccup there, but shouldn't be too big of a deal. Well, now that the game's underway, I'm going to go ahead and introduce the players. We've got Old K, he's going to be running the Shadow Fiend. Never Never Land is going to be on the Slark. K4B, he's going to be playing that Skywrath Mage. The Earthshaker is going to be handled by ACC. And last, but certainly not least on the Radiant side, we're going to have EAP on the Axe. On the Razor, we're going to have 3GN. Playing the Lion is going to be Sleeping Joey. Zeus is going to be picked up by Scapegoat. The Bristleback is going to be handled by Larkarn. And last, but certainly not least, to cap it all off, we're going to have Hexenjagged. Oops, he's going to be playing that Witch Doctor. He did start with boots, so maybe they're going to look to run a little bit more aggressive here. Do an aggressive dual lane with the Bristleback Witch Doctor, zone mode, really try and pressure the Slark. Wouldn't be too surprised. Maybe not such a bad idea either.
30 seconds to go.
Looks like they're just going to camp the top room. Radiant, they're really prioritizing the top room. Another policy is going to come out. Looks like AC is having some issues. Looks like ACC is having some issues, and 3GN is having none of it. He's a little, seems a little bit salty, but nonetheless, there's only so much you can do. I'll leave it up to the admin. Speaking of which... Yeah, see, there's Angry Creep. He's getting in there, letting them know they've got their pause time. There's nothing Funk can do about it. So they'll just have to wait it out. Afterwards, though, unfortunately, once INTZ is out of pause time, they're gonna be forced to let go. But little shout out to the admins. They do a lot of work behind the scenes. Props to those guys. Angry Creep, Digital, and Bill, Drizzy, all those guys. Joker, I guess, from time to time, maybe. I don't know what he does. The flame is real. But, again, just... It's hard to... only so much you can look at from here. I imagine they'll probably look to go for an early first blood with the Skywrath Mage and the Earthshaker combo. Maybe look to roam onto the mid lane if they can snag out what I assume is going to be the Zeus. If they can catch him somewhere, anywhere... Oh, I can't draw on the map. Oh, right where I'm moving the mouse here. Or I guess you can see on the mini-map. Anywhere behind this line right there. Anywhere just south of it. Oh, jeez. I think they should be alright and should be able to pick up a first blood fairly easily. Zeus, however, did go for that bottle rush, so he's really hoping to secure this boundary rune. He really wants to grab that if they can, and if he can, he'll only be 1 CS away from getting that bottle, or even just a couple of seconds. By the time the buzzer hits and the creeps hit the wave, he'll need less than a CS to finish off that bottle, and if he misses one, it'll only take him a little bit to get out, and it should be pretty easy to... Oh, excuse me, guys. Should be pretty easy to snag it with that Arc Lightning level 1, but it looks like they're having some technical difficulties. Everybody's disconnecting and reconnecting all over the place. Not sure what's going on here. This is... Look at that. Disconnected, reconnected, disconnected, reconnected. Very unfortunate. Hopefully everything gets sorted out and they can have a nice smooth game. It's unfortunate for the fans. It's very unfortunate for the players, though, when they're having issues like this. As, well, their tournament lives do depend on this. The winner continues on in this qualifier group stage. The loser, unfortunately, does not. But nonetheless, game's going to be underway as we're going to wait for this boundary rune to spawn. Doesn't look like there should be too much interaction. Slark sitting up, making sure there's no early wards going into his jungle. Doesn't look like that's going to be too much of an issue. They had one, but they didn't go plant it. They're not too worried about the jungle right now. But both sides just hold in position. Razor's going to walk forward a little bit here. K4B, he's going to be in area. If he can get in a couple arcane bolts on him on top of a fissure, it should be alright. But it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. Zeus did pick up that boundary rune. Going very close for that bottle. Sonic, however, just had to sit there and watch. But, you know, at the end of the day, does it really matter? He's got the golden barb. I mean, really, the guy's already won the game. Moving to the mid lane, what's going to be a very important matchup is if this SF... How hard can the Zeus shut him down? As no matter what, SF is going to get farm. He will be able to clear waves with his raises a little bit later on, as well as any stacks made up in the jungle. And speaking of stacks, it looks like the Shaker's already rotating through. He did throw out a fissure. I didn't see who that was on, but he is going for a stack in the jungle, so he should have this stacked up once or twice for the SF. By the time he's level 5, can go ahead and clear that out with his if he's full mana with a couple of raises and maybe some bottle charges. Axe in the top lane should be okay to get some CS. He's got to watch out for the Razor draining him, but at the end of the day, he can always call and run away. And then Lion, before level 3, can't really do a whole lot to him. Axe can kind of just run out and bully him back with the Battle Hunger. The Battle Hunger movement speed. Oh, we're going to see yeah, see, he's just going to continue chasing him down. If he gets a couple Helix procs, it's going to do a little bit of damage here, and it's going to definitely make it tough to pull when you have a hero like this that can easily contest the wave, as well as has the vision from this ward right here. But in the bottom lane, with his aggressive dual off lane, we'll see how effective they're able to shut down the Slark. So far, it's been pretty good. Witch Doctor did opt for... He does have an early point in Voodoo Restoration. Oh, nice Fissure Block's going to come out. There's a Slark pass, but he's going to miss it. Now he's on the wrong side of the wall. Unfortunately, the Coconut's going to fly out. I don't know if they'll be able to get a return kill of this, but they might be able to. Slark's dropping very low. The Quill Sprays are stacking up, and he is going to fall. That is your first blood from Lokarn. Able to pick off that Slark, and just a very nice juke coming up from Hex, able to sidestep the pounce and get him on the wrong side of the fissure, able to force to walk back and need a couple more of those Quill Sprays, and, well, this aggressive dual lane seems to be working out quite well. Very tanky with the Voodoo Restoration as well, just Bristleback in general. Good deny of the regen rune there to Scapegoat. Unfortunately, we'll not be able to use that, and if we take a look at SF, he's leading the CS chart. He's got his 13 CS now, looking for that 14th, and he's got almost max souls as well. He's got 14 out of 22 for this point, and he's going to be pretty happy with that. So Zeus not doing the best at shutting him down, and this SF could become a problem a little bit later on. But as long as the Slark is shut down, at least one of them they'll be able to deal with one of them. Up in the top lane, however, they're looking to deal with his Axe. They've got an Earthspike coming out. Razor's dealing a lot of damage, but I don't think it's going to be enough to dive this Axe. Not by a long shot. Just too tanky and too fast with those early boots up. Razor does have his, but Lion does not and could not pursue for the extra little bit of damage. Alright, let's see how the stacks are going here. Looks like he missed it the first time. He should be able to get it this time, though. And boom. There we go. moving on back. We'll see if they want to try and go aggressive again, but I think at this point they should probably just try and get some CS on Snark. He's catching up well, though. He's 12 and 13 now. And well, he's got his boots. We're probably going to look for those early treads in Aquila. Maybe into a Shadow Blade or a Blink Dagger. Blink Dagger's kind of fallen off. It was really popular for a while, and then the meta switched back to the Shadow Blade. Just allowing him to re-engage and disengage multiple times in a fight without using his Shadow Dance. Or if you can spread out the use of the Shadow Blade and Shadow Dance like every 30 seconds, you should be pretty well off. Either way, SF now, 22 souls. He does have it maxed out, and he's got that level 5, so he can go ahead and try and clear up the stack if he wants to. Maybe there'll be another one. No, Earthshaker's going to go ahead and stack the large camp once more. Meanwhile, Axe, he's being very aggressive, trying to deny this pull as best he can. He does have to be a little bit careful now, though. Lion is level 3, does have that extra little bit of damage coming out from Earth Spike, as well as control time. And they did get a nice D ward as well. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry for the yawns, boys. I have no excuse. Slark, he's going to pounce away from the cast, still connects him, but either way, moving forward from there, they did get a decent pull-off, and that is a courier and a half. That's fun looking. Either way. ACC should be, well, he's got his boots of speed. Which one of these guys are they giving a little bit of farm per to? This Skyeth Mage who's gotten a little bit more CS, but at the end of the day, it's the Earthshaker who is getting no levels whatsoever either. So I guess that is the hard 5 Shaker. Oh, up in the top lane. Looks like it's going to be another kill going their way. The Zeus ulti comes out and he snags that kill. Sleeping Joy was dropping very low. He's lucky that Axe didn't get him 1 or 2 more helixes, otherwise he might have gone down from that. And in the end, the drain plasma field and then the control from the Lion, just too much for the Axe to deal with, and he's playing a little bit too aggressively. Slark's got to be very careful though. Coconut did not follow, but if it does, that'd be very close to another kill. Well, moving into the bottom lane, the Earthshaker is roaming through, but he's going to get spotted out by the Witch Doctor. They seem to be playing a little bit afraid. Perspec does have 9 charges. He's diving the tower now. He's going to try and cut the creep wave, but he's got to be a little bit careful. Fisher's going to come out. That actually blocks the Witch Doctor in. He's going to take a couple shots. Slark thinks about going for the pounce, but isn't going to. Instead, he pops the Dark Pack. He takes a little bit more damage than he wants to now. Hex is going to force them back, and it's just this dual lane playing very aggressive, forcing back this tri-lane. Not letting them really do a whole lot of anything. Oh, we're going to have another Coconut come through. One more. They need 2 more Quill Sprays probably. Never mind, the Fissure and the Pounce are going to be able to get him away. Now it's the Witch Doctor who looks like he's going to be giving up a kill. The Voodoo Restoration and the Wand Charges might be enough with another set of Doves. We'll have to see. How far can he stay? Not far enough. Unfortunately, he does go down. And unable to find any sort of a kill there. They were not able to latch on. Wonder if maybe a value point in the goo would have been worth it. Slow them down a little bit more, make them take that little bit of extra damage. It could be the difference. But nonetheless, up in the mid lane though, it's Scapegoat who's searching for the SF. He pops his ulti, doesn't have the mana. Unfortunately though, if he had just gone for the lightning bolt then the ulti, he might have been able to find that kill. Maybe a misplay, maybe he was away either direction, but that's going to force the SF back. He is leading the CS charge very heavily. He's just shy max souls by 1. And did he clean up this camp? He did clean up this one, and it looks like he cleaned up that one as well. I remember there being centaurs there. It is the Earthshaker who's a level 2 sitting in the mid lane. Maybe looking for a kill of some sort, but he's going to have shown there. SF's going to pop the buckler, maybe thinking about going. Earthshaker can sit there for a long range stun if he wants to, but I don't think he's going to be able to find a kill. Axe is going to loop through. He's got some CS. How's he doing relative to the Bristleback? That was the real question. Bristleback, maybe take a look at the net worth. That'll show us a little better. 2,700 net worth, yeah. Bristleback, 1,000 gold ahead of the Axe. That's going to come down to those couple kills and the death on the Axe. That's it. There's going to be a silence and some doves coming out onto the Witch Doctor, forcing him back. Slark, unfortunately, not level 6 yet, not getting that regen. Trying to soak experience as best he can, just gotta get there. And again, no goo, so can't chase him down. He does obviously have Pounce and the Purge. They'll drop him very low. Wonder almost if it would have been better to go for maybe a higher Pounce build, but I guess the Dark Pack lets you farm a little better as it can affect the jungle creeps and help you clear out waves a little bit quicker. But you definitely need level 6, which he does have now, so all that's in the past. Maybe they look to get aggressive now with that regen, but there's actually them who's going to be dived. He pops the Dark Pack, looking for a kill on the Bristleback. Not going to be able to find it, so he's going to tank the creep wave. Pull up behind the tower, and should be able to clean it up. There is an Earthshaker roaming through from the top side, but oh, SF is there also. Fortunately, his icon being covered a little bit, but nonetheless, should be fine. Zeus, he's got his mana boots already picked up at 8 minutes in. He's got 1200 gold in the bank. Maybe look for an early blink dagger so he can position himself a little better. But he's going to be rotating around onto this axe. Well, maybe not. He's just going to change his mind. Just grabs a point booster from the shop. Going to go for that early ag scepter. Maybe a bloodstone, but I imagine it's probably an ags. Seems a little more likely. Can certainly do a lot of work up against these low health heroes like the Scarth Mage and the Slark. He does not have the high strength regen. We're actually going to see a TP into the mid lane coming up from the Witch Doctor. He's going to look for a coconut onto the SF. SF has a DD roam. Scapegoat's got to be careful. He doesn't want to eat a raise here. He might be in a little bit of trouble. They're going to bring him down, though. In the end, it's going to be fine. Scarth Mage doesn't rotate through quite quick enough. He needs another set of dubs, but he's not going to be able to get it. The bottle charges and the Voodoo Restoration too much, and they're going to be able to stay alive up in the mid lane. But they do get a kill on that SF. Very important at this point. Trying to shut him down. He was getting very close to his mechanism. Not able to finish it off, though. But this bottom lane taking a lot of damage. Slark pumps the Dark Pact. Clears up the creep waves. And the creep, sorry. And now looking to push out. He still needs to buy his treads. Oh, man. This poor guy. He's just having a rough time. Bristleback, meanwhile, he's got some decent tank items and sustain items. The Magic Stick, as well as the Ring of Aquila and the Ring... the Basilius. And the Ring of Health. Probably going to look for a Vanguard, maybe a Crimson Guard. We'll have to see. Up in the top lane, the Razor, he's been kind of quiet lately. He's going for an early set of drums. He's got the recipe, just needs to get to the side shop and buy the Robe of the Magi, which he should be able to do here once this creep wave is gone. Here's how is he doing on his Ags. Well, he's getting there in the end. And he's going for a very aggressive build. Lots of damage in the from the static field as well as the lightning bolt, so that one is going to hurt. This can do a lot of work up against heroes like the Axe. Oh, on the backside, it looks like they might go for the Witch Doctor. Can get silenced up here by the Scarth Mage. But it doesn't look like they're going to commit too hard. We've seen them dive the tower already. I'm not going to go for it again. Mid lane looks like... SF just getting zoned back here, trying to pop the bottle charges, does have 9 stick charges as well. Can he pop himself back up as needed, but at the same time he's still got to be very careful that he doesn't just get instantly burst. He's going to take a lot of damage from that. That's what I mean, like, it's just so hard to deal with. If he takes that much damage, like, he sticks around unfortunately and eats that again, then maybe a Thunder God's Wrath. He might be very close to going down, especially if there's somebody else rotating through. Like, if the Witch Doctor's there to get a coconut off, should be an easy kill. The Doves are going to continue forcing back the Bristleback, and now that the SF has the mechanism, maybe they'll look to push. Rotate some heroes down to this lane as well. We see the Earthshaker and the SF, they're paired up together, but they're not really committing to any sort of a push yet. SF going to clear up this wave. Maybe try and force it into the tower a little bit. He's got pretty good damage onto it for now, but it doesn't seem to be mattering a whole lot. Scapegoat, as always, can just clear them out with the Arc Lightning. Top lane, though. Lion, he's level 6, he's got his Finger Death. Axe does have to be careful. That is the vast majority of his health, just in that finger alone. How many points does he have going on into Earthstrike? He's got 3, so another 200 damage. So 800 damage with the magical, plus, and yes, that is reduced, obviously, but the Razor there as well. He's going to get the Drain off as well. That's going to be a very high-level Drain. Gets 56 damage very quickly. He's going to look to push. Oh, up in the mid lane, though. We're going to have a Fissure and a Silence come out on to the Zeus. They should be able to get this kill. He's going to try and deny to Roshan. They're trying to juke it out. Oh, he's not even going to eat a hit. The Earthshaker's the one who's going to tank that. And now they're maybe looking for the Witch Doctor. Pounces on cooldown for another 5 seconds, but they're not going to go. The ED rune is there. It was a very nice play from the Earthshaker, aggroing the Roshan, so it goes onto him and not onto... Oh, speaking of aggro, it looks like 3GN. He's going to have some Shadow Fiend aggro that he does not want to deal with. Call comes out of the Bristleback. He takes quite a bit of damage once he's turned around. He doesn't have that passive protecting him. But his Axe Huge goes a little bit too far into the tower. He's got to be a little bit careful here. Bristleback continuing to keep his back turned. Not taking too much damage, and he should be okay. They did lose the Lion in the mid lane, and they lost the Razor in the top. So across the board, it was a 3-0. Very nice play coming up from INTZ. They're going to be happy with that. Maybe they can look to pick off this Witch Doctor. Doesn't look like that's going to be the case. Oh, Bristleback, though. He goes down very quickly. I was not ready for that. It looks like the Requiem was used. They got a call into the Requiem dunk. And, well, unfortunately, yeah, that's what happened here. Oh, no, no dunk, just the Requiem and a couple of raises. He gets bursted down very quickly. Cannot use that passive to his advantage. And, well, that's what happens when you're a Bristleback without that extra little bit of tank that he relies on. Never Neverland, he's doing okay. He's got his treads and Aquila up now. Maybe he can look for that first battle item, if you will, whether it's a Blink Dagger or a Shadow Blade. He needs some sort of mobility to get around in these fights and start controlling the engagements. Axe as well as needs to find that Blink Dagger. He's going for the max call in Helix. He's going to click to clear up this little stack. Shouldn't take him too long. Might even be able to stack it once more. Meanwhile, that's going on. Slark quickly finds a kill onto the Lion. Who was that? That was with the help of the Scarlet Mage, the Ancient Seal, providing a lot of extra damage for the Pounce and the Dark Pack. All of which is magical, which is... Oh, Slark, he's going to find the Bristleback. He can go for the Pounce if he wants to. Zeus shows up, though. Maybe he's not going to want to go. There is an aggressive TP in from the Razor. He's going to pop the Plasma Field as well. First big engagement of the game. The Zeus health's going to fly out. They get the Slark very low, but he hasn't gone down. The mechanism keeping him alive. Skywrath does drop, though. Earthshaker comes in. Nice echo onto, well, I guess 1.5. But Witch Doctor, he's going to do the dance of his people, forcing the Slark back. Fortunately, not able to control him all that while. Coconut not on cooldown, and they don't have any points in Viscous Nasal Goo, so they can't bring him down, but they do get 2, and they are going to be able to deny that tower. Did lose the Razor, but I guess 2 supports and a denied tower for the Razor. Probably worth it for Funk. They're probably going to be okay with that. Maybe not the happiest, but INTZ as well, they're going to be okay with getting the Razor, and at least the mid tower is gone, so they will no longer have this for the positioning as well. Slark is going to go for the Shadow Blade, or the Lothars if you're one of them Dota 1 peoples, but the rotation up top is going to be spread out with his nice aggressive ward here. Axe, does he have a blink? Still no. He's got 1,800 gold, so he's about 400 away from it. Still probably wants to try and get in there, but is he going to be able to run down the Bristleback? Not quite. He's going to get in range for a Battle Hunger. Now he's going to go for it. The concussive shot's going to fly out, but they're just forcing it back. They just want to cut the tower, cut the creep wave, and take out this tower. That said, Earthshaker's going to be there. There's a Mystic Flare as well, doing a lot of damage. Bristleback trying to go in, but fortunately he's going to get zoned back. Now they're going to look to go on Old Cade. Razor's going to throw out the Plasma Field, doing a fair bit of damage. Requiem's going to get wound up, and it goes. Not doing all that much. Clears out some of the neutrals, I guess, but in the end it is a good zone, and they do bring down that top tower. Now it's Zeus is here, though. Earthshaker, he's going to go in. Unfortunately, he gets bursted down. Zeus gets a double kill. Now it's the Slark looking to turn around. He's going to go down as well, though. Bristleback able to clean it up. Actually, the Razor with another double kill going his way. They know that the Scarlet Mage is in the area somewhere. He's got to be very careful. He's going to move it away a little bit here. Scapegoat not going to go for it. Scarlet Mage just hiding off into the wings. Should be alright. Looks like he's going to be... Needs to buy a TP scroll. Finally going to have the mana for it. He's going to pop and head out. Oh man, if only Scapegoat had checked with a Lightning Bolt where the Skywrath Mage had been. But unfortunately I missed the fight recap. Maybe the graphs will be able to tell us what happened there. And well, as you can see, it looks like it went pretty well for the Funk Bunch. They believe they got 4-0 going across that fight. Maybe they lost 1. Just gonna have to wait for the graphs to update here a little bit. But so far it's looking like they're gonna be pretty happy with that. Experience and gold both going their way, which was in favor of INTZ. Okay, had a good use of the mechanism in the mid lane, but I didn't notice its impact there, so hopefully they'll be able to keep putting these items to use. He is going for a very early BKB, which up against all of the magical damage that they've got and control between the Lion, the Witch Doctor with the casks, as well as the Bristleback with the Nasal Goo now, and the damage from Zeus, so definitely not a bad choice. The problem is it's going to be so on a 5-second charge so quickly because he's picking it up so early that the later this game goes, the harder it's going to be for him to really find an effective use of the BKB. He's almost going to have to pop it, get his ulti off, and then just hope for the best. Slark's going to do some cheeky plays with the Shadow Amulet, though. He's maybe going to wait for the Lion to rotate down or somebody else, and then they can look to go on him once he gets the pounce off. Not sure how effective this is going to be as there is nobody in sight. But in the mid lane, Bristleback, he's got a pipe. Okay, so that's what he decided to go for early, which makes sense up against the Earthshaker as well as the Shadow Fiend. Even the Slark early, most of his damage comes from Pounce and Dark Pact, I would say, until he gets his first right-click item. I wouldn't say I wouldn't really count Shadow Blade as a right-click item. It's just an initiation tool. But once he gets either that S and Y, maybe just even just a Yasha, he starts hitting a little bit harder, able to stay in these fights a little bit longer, get that stolen intelligence or sorry, agility up, and look to go. Nothing going on there. Shadow Fiend, he does have a haste rune. Is this his BKB coming on the courier? It is. So he's going to be very happy with that. The Earthshaker, he's certainly picked up and farmed past his buddy, the Skywrath Mage, only by a couple hundred. Still going to be looking for that Blink Dagger. He's quite a ways off, though. Start getting zoned back heavily from the Zeus. And this is how hard it is to push up against the Zeus. You're just constantly taking little bits of damage. And if you're in range of the static field, taking a fair bit of it as well. On the backside, though, it's going to be Axe. He's going to get initiated on. Silence goes out onto the Lion. He's going to get a call off. Mystic Flare as well. It's not doing a whole lot of damage, getting split up. And he's going to go down. He does get the chop off first. He's going to drop on the backside. Shadow Fiend lets off a nice healthy. Gets the Razor. Witch Doctor, though, he's hiding in the trees. He's going to get off an excellent Death Ward. Unfortunately, he's going to go down. Earthshaker does drop. So far, it's a 2 for 3. Skywrath Mage sitting on the backside, gonna throw it the slow. He's gonna drop very low. If he gets caught by a stray Quills, he's gonna go down. Papa Quills. Oh, he's not gonna do it. Oh man, a second time the Skywrath Mage barely making it out of there, and another excellent fight coming out for Funk. Doing a good job there. They clean up, as you can see, 4,700 experience for them, as well as 1,400 gold in their favor. Fortunately, again, lost the Razor line. Losing Lion, not the biggest deal. Zeus is going to be very happy with that. Now he's got his Axe finished and 1,000 gold in the bank. So his next ult, he's going to do even more damage. Skywrath Mage is not going to be escaping by all that much. And it's going to put this Refresher Orb on a pretty fast track. He's already, well, maybe not. Looks like he's going to go for a Yule's. Bought a Staff of Wizardry. Guess it could be a Force as well. Just help him position a little better. But Axe, he's got a Blink up and ready. He might go on the Witch Doctor. He blinks forward, gets the call, only on him and one creep. So he's not going to be helixing too much. Only needs a couple, though. Oh, he's trying to time it. Needs another spin. He should be able to dunk now. There we go. Able to find a nice little solo pick off there using the Blink Dagger, putting it to good effect. And he just needs to keep these supports down, feed off them, get up that next item, whether it's a Vanguard, maybe a pipe of their own, something along those lines that can just provide them with a little bit of an extra buffer, as well as he needs to start letting ACC get some farm, get his Blink Dagger as well, so he gets those echoes. He's had decently effective echoes. He did cancel the Witch Doctor's Death Ward with it in the previous fight by the Dire Secret Shop, but at the same time it didn't do a whole lot of damage. It could have been positioned a little bit better. Well, speaking of items that are going to let people do things, Shadow Blade on the Slark is up and running, so now the supports really have to start playing scared. They always have to be grouped up. Maybe you're going to have to sit behind the Bristleback and the Razor a little bit more. Zeus as well. Very good at getting vision of the Slark. Skywrath Mage, well, what's he got coming up? Just a couple of smokes picked up by them. Shadow Blade gonna be maybe revealed here if Lion comes up too far forward. They shouldn't have any vision of this, and the tower range. Oh, that's gonna be it. He's just gonna go for the pounce from stealth. He gets the Dark Pact off as well, and another auto attack. He's gonna get the kill. He's gonna Shadow Dance away. The Coconut's gonna go, but it's just gonna connect on the creeps. And a nice reveal. He does get a kill again, only on his support. But if him and the Axe can continue to feed off these supports, provide space for the Shadow Fiend to clear up these jungle camps, and maybe let the Earthshaker and this Skywrath Mage get a little bit of farm, they should be able to pull the game back. As you can see, the graph is going in their favor. They just seem to be farming a little bit more effective. Most of Funk's gold coming from kills in recent memory. Oh, now we have a BKB picked up on the Razor. Again, very good item in this game. There's a lot that it can block, but also it's kind of one of the things where it's going to maybe hurt them a little bit, but because the Razor got one about as quick as the Shadow Fiend. Shadow Fiend's only at 9 seconds, Razor, fresh one obviously at 10. This shouldn't be too bad either team. I'd say that's kind of a wash as far as BKB timing. So the real one I think is going to be whenever this Bristleback decides to go for one, if he decides to go for one. Maybe when he gets tired of being leashed by the Slark or silenced by the Skywrath Mage and slowed down and stunned up by the Earthshaker. I imagine he'll probably want to get one. Maybe after the SNY, a Halberd might not even be a bad choice for this one. Give himself a little bit of evasion up against the Slark, disarm the Shadow Fiend and different things like that. First going to go to MKB, but we'll have to see. So far, he's actually got a Staff of Wizardry. Maybe going for a Force Staff of his own. Could be a Yule Scepter, but we're not gonna see a whole lot here. As far as the team's objectives for... Oh, blink forward and a call going to go out, but it's not really going to land here. He gets hit by the Maledict. He's going to take quite a bit of damage from this. He's probably going to drop to the Maledict charges. Actually, Razor getting the kill with a Plasma Field on the backside. Up on the top side, though, it is Zeus who drops to the Shadow Fiend. Requiem of Souls flying out. Nicely done. He almost goes down. Now they're looking to re-engage on the backside. Maybe give him the re-goose here, but it's not going to happen. Unfortunately, oh, I hear BKB pop by the SF. He's just going to run at them, looking for that Witch Doctor kill. Not going to be able to find it. Echo Slam is used. BKB popped by the Razor. This is going to be up for a lot longer. Mystic Flare is going to come out. Not going to do a whole lot of anything. Oh man, why can I think of words? The Pipe of Insight going to be blocking most of that damage. The Requiem of Soul is going to come out. Well, the Death Requiem, that is, but not going to do a whole lot. Witch Doctor on the backside does go down to the Slark. And in the end, it's a 2 for 2, but definitely favoring Funk. Getting the Axe and the SF there in exchange for the Witch Doctor and the Zeus. Much better for them overall. Up on the top, we've got Earthshaker sitting here. He does have mana with the use of his Soul Ring to go in, but let's see, Shadow Blade from the Slark popped up. He's going to look to run forward. They do have a sentry down here, so if he crosses the river, they will see it. But it's not going to be the case. He's just going to head back into the jungle, look to farm that up. On the backside. Sorry about that. Took a look at Twitch chat. I see I'm getting flamed. That's all right. The Sage. I would like to see an S and Y. Personally, I think just giving him that mobility would be all right. There's nothing wrong with the Halberd of this game, but I think the added mobility would be better. Help him chase a little bit better, as a lot of these heroes range and decently good at kiting him. Slark as well has that pounce. Can look to get away, and the Earthshaker can obviously stun him quite a bit. The Scouting Zeus ulti gets popped out here, and it does a lot of damage. As you can see, everybody very low right now. Skywrath Mage, well, far below half health. If Zeus manages to get a Refresher Orb here in the next, I would say 20 minutes, after his Euls is finished, I would say the Skywrath Mage is probably an insta-kill with a Zeus Refresher, especially once that is level 16 ulti. Bottom lane... Going forward. Shaker still trying to farm up that Blink Dagger. He's getting close, but doesn't quite have it yet. It is going to be an S&Y from the Bristleback, so it gives him that extra mobility, a little bit more of attack speed, and allows him just to run around and move a little bit more. Razor looks like he's going for an Assault Cuirass. Could be a Shiva's, but I imagine it's going to be an AC. Stacks a little bit better with the minus armor and the plus armor for himself. Slark, he's going to be working on that Scotty. Looks like that's the only component he's managed to get together so far is just the one ultimate orb. We're going to see a big grouping from the Dire Funk. They're probably going to pop a smoke. They drop a lightning bolt. Make sure they're not detected. They pop it off the courier. Now they look to move. They haven't drawn anything on the map yet, so not sure if they're going to go, but, well, with the ping from 3GN, now we know they're heading into Roshan, and they should be able to take this fairly quickly. They do have a pretty good lineup for it. They can break his Lincolns easily with the Bristleback Goo, as well as do a lot of damage with him, and keep the sustain up from... Oh, Fissure comes out, goes into the Rosh Pit. That said, that doesn't provide vision. They don't know if they're in there or not, so they're just kind of hoping here. The Goo providing a lot of extra damage on this, and this is going to fall pretty quickly. And Earthshaker, well, he knew he didn't want to commit for it, and they're going to have to let this Roshan go for free. Shadow Fiend on the top side, though, did push all the way up here, and did some decent damage to this tier 2, but it doesn't look like it's going to amount to a whole lot. Who picked it up? It was the Bristleback who grabbed it, so now they're probably going to look to force back, maybe get a couple towers going their way, and overall just push the game back in their favor. As you can see, it has been going the way of the Radiant. Slowly chipping back, but overall pretty even game. SF Ultimate Orb as well. He's got 2300 gold. I wonder if he might be going for a Scythe, going for that more utility build. Give him a little bit more mana so we can get those raises off, get the Requiem off, as well as the Mechanism. It's very hard for an SF with the increased mana cost on Mech to use all of his spells, especially if he's using any sort of mana to farm, what with the Shadow Raises on creeps or neutrals. Slur. Going around. They're going to look to force this top lane. Axe is sitting on the side. We'll see if he wants to engage into this. He's actually going to blink away. Makes you think maybe this isn't a fight they want to take. Not right now. They can give up these tier 1s. They can pop the glyph, force them, and slow them down a little bit here. Get farm elsewhere. Slark's pushing out the bottom lane. Shouldn't be too big of a deal. And last hit going to Razor. they're going to keep pushing off this, and I don't see any reason for them to stop. They've got a gem on the Bristleback as well as an Aegis, so he's going to be able to hold on to that for a long time. If Slark tries to do anything fancy coming around the backside, it's going to be a little bit of problems for them. One thing to note, though, they are getting split pushed both in the bottom lane and the mid lane. And they're going to back off after getting a little bit of chip damage on the tower. TPs are coming out. They're actually both of them going to get cancelled. Very nice fissure coming out from the Earthshaker. And, well, they're only going to be able to TP one into the mid lane, and that's going to be the Bristleback. Shadow Fiend's channeling the Requiem. Unfortunately, it doesn't land. He's going to have to try and get out of there. Who's that TPing in? It is the Lion. Unfortunately, the TP takes too long, and the SF is able to escape. Now they're going to look to go to the bottom lane. Slark trying to pounce off into the trees. He's going to be able to make it out of this line. Does not have a blink to close the distance. They should be alright. So in the end, it works out very well for INTZ. They get some good chip damage on these other tier 2s, and they don't really lose a whole lot for it. Sure, the SF ulti is on cooldown, but at the end of the day, that's not really going to matter. And speaking of SF, he is also going for his Scotty, so they're going to look to just tank up, get that extra little bit of health going their way, and the extra control for the Bristleback. So you won't be able to kite them. Razor also very fast. Nice to get some control onto him. Razor, does he have any components? It is that Assault Cuirass coming out for him. And now another tier 1 going to look to get pushed by Funk. We'll see. Maybe they might just get split push again. They got to make sure they all have TPs, and they got to TP in such a way that they don't get cancelled. Especially two of them by one very well placed fissure coming out from the Earthshaker. Right. Hex on the backside. He's got an Ogre Club. And he's got Lokarn's stick. Oh, Slark, Axe, not going to get going on or going anybody. Bristleback up in the top lane. He's going to look to push the Shadow Fiend back. They see the war there. They're going to bring it down. SF, he's going to look to turn on the Bristleback. They're going to fight a little bit. Nice fissure coming out. The call is there as well. A couple of helixes and a dunk. Combined with the Mystic Flare, they're able to bring down the Aegis. On the backside of it, though, Slark, he's going to go in on the Lion. Getting drained up by the Razor, though. He's got to be a little bit careful. Now Earthshaker, he's the one who's going to be in a little trouble. He's going to drop to one more zap from the Zeus. Bristleback trying to get in range for some goos on somebody, but they're not going to be able to. SF pops the mechanism, going to get clipped by a plasma field, but in the end, it's not going to matter, as they're all going to make it out. Slark purging up the creep waves. He's getting very close to that Scotty. He's going to have it in 1200 gold for that. 275. He's Zeus. Actually, hold that thought. He's going to maybe look to bring down the Scotty. He thinks there's a ward here. They're actually going to start the drain. Slark's going to be able to pounce away. They got no way to get in front of him. And he's also going to Shadow Blade on the backside. There's actually going to be a call into the Bristleback. The Shadow Fiend's there. His Scotty is up and running. They're looking to TP the Axe out. Now the SF, he's kind of all left alone. He's going to BKB, pop the Requiem. It's going to look to go, but they're going to drop the Witch Doctor ward. Bristleback's not going to be able to make it out. Now the SF, he's trying to TP out as well. Are they going to be able to get him? They do. His BKB ends just in time, and they're able to get the gem back. Didn't see if SF was not able to pick that up, but they are able to reclaim it, even though they lost to Bristleback. I would say that's probably an even trade. Bristleback for the SF. Actually, the net change about 300 in favor of Funk. Experience 1500 in their favor. Slark now has his Scotty finished up, so he's going to be very tanky, and can certainly look to go toe-to-toe with any of the carries now on the side of Funk. Razor's got to be a little bit careful. They're able to slow him down through his BKB, but he does have that Assault Cuirass up and ready to go. Not going for the Eggs. Maybe that'll come out a little bit later. Eggs Refresher build of old. Not as strong as the Eyes of the Storm do not stack, but the Eggs upgrade still very good for pushing and allows them to break the base. Something that INTZ had troubles with last time, that maybe they can do a little better in this round. EAP, he did go for that 4-staff piece. Now he's got a cloak. Looking for building into that hood, I imagine. So he's finally finishing up that Fuel Scepter as well. Oh, he's already got an Oblivion Staff. He's very close to getting his Refresher Orb once, well, he's starting to get very close. He's got the mana to use it multiple times in the regen as well. So once he gets it, he doesn't have to worry about it. He can probably just double pop it. And who's it going to kill? What does that do? 1280 damage. That's a dead Skywrath Mage. That is half the health on the Slark, half the health on the SF. That is a... Oh, speaking of that, Slark, he's going to Haste Rune, pounce away. He's going to get hit by the cask, but at the end of the day, he's too far away. Zeus is still stealthed up. Or should I say smoked up. They're going to look to drain this illusion. Not too worried about it. But Axe, Axe might even die from that if he's near the Zeus when this goes off and he gets hit by a static field or is already a little bit low. He's gonna drop as well. Earthshaker, same with him. They're gonna have some very serious problems dealing with the Zeus damage in probably 10 minutes, depending on how his farm is. Maybe they look to push before that, because the other thing too is their blink daggers are going to be constantly on cooldown. It's very hard to blink onto Zeus. The range of his static field is 1200, the same as a blink dagger, so you got to be at the maximum range. On the backside though, Bristleback, he's going to get pounced up by the Slark. He pops the... Oh, the Fissure just on the wrong side. The Mystic Fledge is going to go, but it's split between two. The Witch Doctor is going to drop the ward from the far side of the Fissure, going to force them back. Bristleback not going to die in the end, staying alive for now. Picks up that Basher. Let him stay on people a little bit better, but it's Slark who's hunting on the backside, looking for a pick-off. Not going to be able to find it. And a good attempt at an engagement from INTZ, but the Fissure just on the wrong side. It was a very, very good try from ACC, but unable to get there. Razor pushing out the bottom lane, 1200 gold in the bank. Probably an Ag Scepter, I would imagine. We'll see. Slark and Axe, though, they're looking to go on this guy. They're looking to figure out where he went. They ping it out. They ping out that there's one there, but he doesn't realize the Slark's already on top of him. They're going to look to go. The call comes out. BKB is already popped, though. Razor, he's going to get chopped down. He's got to be pretty careful here. He's going to go for it, but now he's in dunk range. If Axe wants to go for it, oh, the pathing is hard. Unfortunately, Slark, he should be able to finish him off here with one last Dark Pack. And no, Never Neverland is dominating. Quite a few kills coming out on him since he got that Shadow Blade and the Scotty, allowing him to stay on target and continue to get those stacks. 22 stacks, 66 stolen agility going his way. Mass TP outs on the top lane as SF and the Skyrath Mage try and get out of there. SF's actually going to go farm up the enemy Ancients. He picks up a Plate Mail. I guess he's going to go for an Assault Cuirass, counter out the Razors, give his team a little bit of armor and reduce the armor overall even further on Funk. Bastion announcer telling me somebody's having tech difficulties, so hopefully it's no problem. Slark is he gonna Shadow Blade up, stay behind this Axe? He is. Actually might be able to go find the Zeus. They ping him. They're pinging out something. Not sure who that was. Looks like they're going to back off. They don't want to go in 2v3. Probably a good call overall. And now they realize that there's probably a ward here. We'll see if Slark's able to figure that one out. Do they have anything to deward it if they find it? No sentries at all on anyone. Doesn't look like it. Oh, Roshan going to respawn in 1 minute and 10 seconds. I wouldn't be surprised if the Dire try and take advantage of that again, as they are probably, I would say, quite a bit better. Well, with the SF minus armor, it's not that bad, but at the same time, with the Bristleback Goo and now the Razor AC, it's very quick to bring down the Roshan. Axe actually going to look for a BKB before finishing off his Hood of Defiance or Pipe, whichever he wanted to go for. Zeus is pinging out the Slark. Maybe he wants to go here. Picks up a TP scroll. Gonna throw in a couple Arc Lightnings. Just gonna keep backing off. There's a Witch Doctor whose lone job is to sit in the lane or in the Roche Pit and watch for it. Looks like he's gonna back off those duties. Doesn't want to deal with them right now. I'm curious as to what both teams are waiting for. As I guess the graph shows, SF is the most top farmed, but then it's kind of back and forth, and then you've got the Bristleback and the Zeus are pretty much on par with each other. Slark and Razor are about the same. So I would say, like, I'm sure if we look at the net worth chart, it's not that... For 36 minutes in, having a 2,500 gold lead is not that much. The 7,500 experience, though, is quite a bit. Oh my gosh. Earthshaker. Again, I missed another kill. I apologize to Twitch chat in advance before everybody starts flaming. Another kill going the way of... Who got that one? That was the Razor picking up that one. Not sure what the Shaker was doing that far out all on his own. But either way, he does go down. They do see the Razor looking to farm away. Axe is going to go on him. They're smoked up, but unfortunately the rest of the team is very close. They're going to be able to get this kill on the Razor with the dunk, but now they might get cleaned up. Bristleback is there. Zeus as well. Skyrath Mage is going to drop now on the backside. They're going to be able to pick off the Lion. Slark doing what he can, trying to bring down this Witch Doctor. He's going to drop the Death Ward, doing a lot of damage if he can. He's going to be able to pounce over the hill and TP out as well. Shadow Fiend going to make it out. In the end, it's a 3 for 2. Counting the Earthshaker pick off, but 3 in those fights on the side of Funk going to go down. Slark very nicely played there, able to get in and get out, get the kills, and get out. What did he buy? Oh, he did purchase BKB. Didn't even have to use that first charge of it, so still has that nice long 10-second BKB in his favor. Shadow Fiends is down to 6 seconds. What's the Razor's at? Razor's at 7. So they're starting to get pretty low in timers. SF's pretty much as low as it's going to get. And Razor still has one more long one before it gets pretty short. Axe, he's got his in the bank. He will be able to pick that up here whenever the courier gets to him. Right now it's sitting at the secret shop. Not sure what it's going to be looking for or what it's got on it. Shadow Fiend just waiting for his Hyperstone. It looks like he's only 30 gold away from it. If they're able to get this tower, it'll be easy pickings for him. And he even gets the last hit. So now he's got an Assault Cuirass coming out for him, providing all that extra armor and the minus armor. A little bit of attack speed for his team as well. Axe is getting spotted out. He's going to blink away. Earthshaker, he's got this blink dagger and well, he hasn't been making that many plays. They spot him out, they ping him out. They know where he's at. Not going to look to go. We'll see here. They're sitting right on top of a ward, unfortunately. If they pop the smoke, it's going to get spotted out. As you can see, the Dire Funk, they're just going to be sitting deep inside their base, not wanting to push out too much, except for the Zeus, but he can zap away from decently long range, and if the Slark stealth, he's going to know that he's going to keep going. There's a blink forward and a fissure. Doesn't really it connects, but doesn't really block anyone out. So they're going to be okay. They're just going to back up inside their base. Now the Radiant, they can look to just back off and take this Roshan. They do have good vision. They'll see if they're coming. They have okay Roche fight. The SF, not bad at all. He's got his BKB and his Assault Cuirass fresh out of the oven. And they can always blink and counter initiate with the Earthshaker. Slark as well can look to get into the pit. Zeus is coming out. They're not smoked up, or at least not right now. The rest of them are. But Zeus, he can scout them from the high ground. He's got an ulti if he wants to go for it. He has enough to buy his Refresher Orb as well. Axe is actually going to be initiated on. He gets his BKB off. He gets a call as well. He's taking quite a bit of damage. SF does bring down Roshan and picks it up. On the backside, Axe goes down. SF gets off one Requiem. He's going to be taking quite a bit of damage here. He still has that Aegis though, but so far they've also lost the Skyreth Mage and the Axe. This so far is turning into a rout for Funk. They're going to be very happy with how this turned out. Slark trying to do what he can. Unfortunately, his pounce blocked by Zeus. Scapegoat doing a wonderful job there. Shadow Fiend does get one return kill. His BKB being used, but unfortunately he's not going to be able to get out. Lion bursting him down, and in the end, Razor getting that last kill. Very nicely done in favor of Funk. They only lose one. They get what is essentially 6, having killed the SF twice. And now they can look to barrel down the mid lane, do what damage they can. They don't have... Well, they've got the AC, and Razor has into the plate mail. I guess he's going to be going for a Shiva's Guard. Look for that little bit of extra damage and more of an attack slow and movement slow. Just overall control coming out in these team fights. But they bring down this tower very quickly, and I think the Pipe's doing a lot more work than people give it credit for. It's blocking a lot of damage from the SF ulti. He's not getting those big insta-give SF ultis that you hope for. Earthshaker, he got an Echo Slam off, but it didn't seem too effective. He went down pretty quick afterwards. And now Zeus, he's got his Refresher Orb ready. In 22 seconds, we might see a double kill going his way, as both the Skyreth Mage is within kill range. Blink, or 4-step forward call from the Axe. He's going to be able to get one. Brings down the Razor on the backside. Who's that hexed up? It is the Shadow Fiend. He's going to pop his BKB. Going to look for the Lion. He's got to be pretty careful here, though. Zeus, he's got 5 seconds till he can double ulti. He's going to... Oh, man, if he double ultis here in just a second, he should be able to get 3. There's 1, and there's 2. He gets a triple kill going his way. Very nicely done from him. I mean, I say nicely done. Nicely farmed from him. Executing that is not necessarily the hardest, but getting the farm on the Zeus required is always impressive. As you can see, he is 3rd on the net worth chart, and that's going to put a little bit of a damper into INTZ's nice comeback fight there. It was pretty even. Unfortunately, again, I missed the fight recap, but then they will just check in a moment here on the graphs and see what they're saying to us. Never Land. He's got 1,700 gold in the bank. He hasn't really been able to pick up that next item yet. I haven't seen him progressing towards anything. Not even going back for something a little smaller like a S and Y, which I guess at this point is kind of a wasted slot, I would say. You can always upgrade the S and Y to something better. Maybe he's going to look for a butterfly. Maybe he's just saving for buyback right now. He, of course, just has it. But maybe looking for a basher or something like that to control up this bristleback, hold him in place, stop. That way he can also stop the Witch Doctor's Voodoo, or not the Voodoo Restoration, sorry, the Death Ward coming from him. Lock the Razor in place as well. Shiva's Guard, finished up by the Razor once he gets to the secret shop. Should be able to do fairly well for himself there. How much longer on Zeus? 116 seconds. Zeus can throw out a Scouting ulti with Undergod's Wrath, and his, is he going... He picks up a Ghost Scepter, not necessarily an E-Blade, but I imagine that's going to be the natural build-up. Can look to put some serious hurt onto one target, whoever that may be. Whether it's the Axe or the SF, easily look to bring them down. Or even just putting the Slark into the ethereal state so that he cannot attack people, get those essence shift stacks going, and well, killing the supports. They're gonna smoke very aggressively into the jungle. They see an invis rune. They're not gonna go for it wisely. 80 seconds on the refresher orb, so they've only got the one ulti to work with. Razor, he does have his up. He opted not to finish out the Shiva's Guard. Instead, they're just going to go. They might end up ganking a creep wave here. They're all going to TP back, or at least the Razor is. They pop out some obs wards, but in the end, the smoke gank fails. The Radiant, they sensed something was amiss. They all grouped up behind the SF in the top lane, and they're going to be okay. Morbid Mask picked up into the Helm of the Dominator from the SF, so we're going to be looking for that Satanic coming out here in a little bit. Earthshaker, what's his next item? He's got a Ghost Scepter of himself to avoid the Bristleback and the damage from the Razor. Fortunately, that's going to make him very susceptible to the Zeus. I guess it also helps out with the Witch Doctor's Death Ward, but the Death Ward has honestly not been the most impactful item. Zeus pops one ulti. Kind of just a scouting ulti, I guess. He's only got 80 seconds left, then he'll have a double. And you're not going to... The Zeus health is not one where you pop the refresh orb just to get off it. It's not like Tidehunter or Magnus where you need it and you need it now. You can always just continue to spam with the Arc Lightning. Maybe let this tower go if they don't want to fight without the double Zeus health. Oh, tier 2 is already gone. Look at me paying attention. But they're going to clean out that ward. One ward there. Gem... Who's got it? I think it's the Slark. Maybe a CSF? No, I have no idea. Oh, it's on the courier. Whoever had it picked up, either way, putting it to good use there. Getting rid of that one ward. We got 47 seconds left for the Zeus. And 3 minutes and 40 seconds left for Roshan to respawn. This will be the third Rosh. She'll have some cheese coming out for all these good fellas. And Razor finally finishing up that Shiva's Guard. Maybe now we're going to look for the Ags. We'll have to see. I think if they want to look to push a little quicker, they're going to maybe want to... They're going to maybe want to get that Ags. Could go with Deso as well for a little bit more push. But going to be a little bit until they can get out of their base. Right now, if INTZ, they win a fight here, they could look to clear through these buildings pretty quick, but it doesn't look like that's their plan. They want to just farm up and keep getting fat. As far as the net worth chart, it's still in their favor, but not by a whole lot. Experience has dipped down quite a bit as well. Only about a 6k lead now, whereas it was quite higher before. Despite the kills being in favor of Funk, a lot of that is just kills onto the Skywrath Mage, and the Earthshaker, where they kind of just, unfortunately, they're quite squishy, so they do tend to just kind of go down. Skywrath Mage forced to pick up a casual cloak, should be able to survive the double Zeus ulti now from full health, but if he's missing a couple, 200 or 300, he's going to be going down. Slark's got a Basher coming out for him on the Courier, SF. He's getting close to the Satanic, he only needs 1,000, 3,200, so he needs about 700 gold for that, and he'll be there. 3G, and he's farming very aggressively here. Slark maybe thinking about going, but they don't want to. There is a gem on the Bristleback. He is holding one, so they do have to be careful of that. And he's got a BKB now, and him having a 10-second BKB 46 minutes into the game is going to be huge. It's going to allow him to completely ignore the Skywrath Mage, the control from the Slark, as well as the control from the Earthshaker, and then the some of the burst damage coming from the Shadow Fiend too. He hits okay because of the minus armor, but his actual damage isn't that stellar for an SF at this point. He does pick up Boots of Travel. Looks like he's going to fly him out to himself as well, so he can continue to force this top lane. Shadow Fiend. Maybe look to go in the Lion there, but it doesn't look to be the case. Are they looking to smoke up again? Witch Doctor, he does have one, but they're not going to go. It's kind of turned into a very passive farming game. INTZ, they're playing to win. They know that they've probably got an advantage the later this goes. I would say their lineup goes a fair bit later than Funk's does. The Zeus is going to start falling off here after probably 55 minutes. It's already fallen off relative to the Shadow Fiend. I guess the static field never really falls off, but at the same time, the actual damage from his ulti, being able to double kill people like this Skywrath Mage, who picked up a Vit Booster and a Cloak, as you can see, is going to be quite problematic. There's a DD rune going to be found out by the SF. What's the time on Roche? Roche, we'll see here. Oh, he's going to very quick spawn. Under a minute to go. And the Dire, they're smoked up. Razor has revealed his, so they know where they're at. Axe is waiting way out in the trees. Must have gotten a little nervous. But well, we'll see. How much longer till this Witch Doctor's still trying to get to that egg scepter. He's been trying his darndest for a while now, but they're going to push high ground. But they're getting split pushed in both lanes. SF, is he TPing in? No, he's not. He's continuing to push out the bottom lane with that DD rune. Stark's going to go in. They use the glyph. The Fissure comes out. That traps a couple of them. Axe is going to go in. Gets a call up as well. Zeus throws out one ulti. He's got another one if he wants to. Hasn't refreshed just yet. Maybe holding on to it. He's going to throw it out now. He can if he wants to. Slark, he's sitting there. He's the Death Ward again. It's going, but it's not doing all that much. It's going to now turn onto the Slark. Echo Slam comes out. It seems to be a bit of a whiff for, ACC. He goes down. Slark's going to salve up and look to go. Shadow Fiend in the meantime did get the bottom racks as this fight was happening. Maybe they're a little bit worried now. Coconut's going to fly out. Slark, he is invis. He can look to hold this. What is this Razor doing? Running all the way into the well? He dies, buys back, and he's looking to... Oh, I understand now. He's trying to get back to the base a little bit quicker. SF, he pops his BKB, and he's looking to go. He's got boots of travel. He won't be able to TP out until those Lions use his control spells, but Lion does have to be a little bit careful that he doesn't get bursted. SF might channel his ulti right on the high ground here. It's going to do a lot of damage to the Lion. He's going to go down. Now he's going to be able to TP out just fine. Zeus ulti not going to be able to get there in time. And they end up trading racks for racks as well as the mid-tier 3 in favor of INTZ. Very nice play from them, and excellent decision making from the Shadow Fiend. And I would say advantage them. They get a side lane of racks they can look to push out, and neither of their raxes can be threatened because they still have both of their tier 2s, top and bottom, ready to go. And now if they win a fight, like they might be able to win one now. Slark's looking to go in the bristleback. No bashes coming out just yet. But they did get the they did pick off the Zeus there. Ooh, and an Abyssal Blade as well. Bristleback will not be able to do that again. But if they get a quick pick and then they can look to force in this mid lane, they should be able to grab a second set of racks and turn this in their favor. You can see Net Wars chart spiking highly to their favorite. Experience climbing back up again, just shy of 8,000. And Roshan has respawned, so if they want to take that, they can. Zeus is going to buy back, but he's got no ultis, and I'm not sure how much he's going to be able to do. He doesn't have a Hex, a whole lot of control like that, but they're going to just go for the Roshan. They should be able to clean this up very quickly once the SF enters the pit. And he's actually gone for a Chrysalis, selling that mechanism, getting rid of it, realizes there needs to become a little bit more of a hard carry. Now he's going to be able to crit. How much longer till he gets a Daedalus? He's actually... Wait, where did the Chrysalis go? Oh. Darth Mage does a nice job of picking that up for him. So he can go in with his Aegis. They can look to 5-ball onto this mid lane of racks. They've got it pushed in fairly well with these catapults, and they're going to have creeps in the bottom lane pretty quick. They can look to clear him out as well. Slark has a cheese, so he's basically got 3 lives. He can Shadow Dance once, use his Shadow Blade to get out again, and then he can cheese up for a third one. By all the time that happens, I imagine Shadow Dance will probably be back off cooldown. And, well, are they going to look to push? They seem a little bit nervous now. They don't want to give up any kills. What's the buyback status on some of these heroes here? Not fantasy points. There's a buyback on the SF, so probably the most important hero does have it. And I have the most important next to the Slark for them anyway, but they don't seem too concerned. They're going to just push them out, and I'm not sure why they're deciding to wait. All this is doing is letting the Thunder God's Wrath come back off cooldown, as well as the Refresher Orb. You can pop it twice, but what are the key items coming out here in the next little bit? Looks like maybe a Force Staff for the Earthshaker, and well, it seems to be about it. Just kind of letting the lane go. Maybe they're looking for a pick off of some sort, somebody to leave the base, but I can't see Funk making that mistake. EAP looking to go in. Let's see, it looks like that's going to be the case. Razors are coming up from the Shadow Fiend, just clearing up the creep wave. It's kind of a waiting game right now. They are smoked up. They can look to maybe loop around. This seems to be what their choice is going to be. They know where the Razor is now. They can head to the high ground, maybe get a decent initiation. Oh, if they can get the Bristle back, that would be huge. Blink forward, call from the Axe, as well as the Shiva Guard. They should be able to bring down this Razor very quickly. Witch Doctor's channeling his Death Ward, is doing good work onto the Axe. They're able to bring him down. Now Witch Doctor, he's going to be dropping very quickly. He goes down. One more swipe from the Slark, finishes off the line. But Shadow Fiend, he's going to be losing that Aegis, I imagine, here. He's got a Requiem. He's going to try and channel it off. Unable to get it off before he goes down. But in the end, it's an Aegis and, well, Axe for 3 so far. Buyback onto the Witch Doctor. He's going to try and come back in. Now it's the Bristleback who's taking a lot of damage. He's going to go down. Shadow Fiend finally gets the ulti off, and now it's Hex. He's going to be brought down in the base. A pounce from the Slark. Nicely done. Lands on top of him. Bristleback's going to buy back, but I don't think there's a whole lot he can do all on his own. Slark's going to go to work onto this mid-Rax. He did use his cheese, though. Now they're all going to be... Gonna have to be a little bit careful. Maybe get this Rax and back out. We'll have to see how aggressive they want to be. 2 buybacks were forced, so I guess they don't have to back out just yet. They know that the Witch Doctor's a long time dead, and so is the Razor. Lion doesn't have an ulti, so he can't do a whole lot. Zeus, both of his are on cooldown. He's going to do Yules as best he can. Ados comes out onto the Bristleback. I guess that's from the Skywrath Mage. He finally picks that one up. Never Neverland, he's got it. Actually, they're just going to pop BKB and go for Mega Creep. Zeus is going to pop his Ghost Scepter. Taking a fair bit of damage there. Bristleback doing what he can up against the Slark, but Slark in the Shadow Dance should be okay. Oh, he's going to get Hex. He's going to actually get brought down here, and they should be able to get this melee Rax. Oh, they're not going to commit for it. They've already lost their Slark, and BKB is on cooldown. No cheese or Aegis coming out from them. Actually going to just TP away. Fissure comes out, but unfortunately the Yules is there from Zeus. They're going to lose the Shadow Fiend. So they got 2 lanes of Rax, they get into tier 3, they almost get the melee Rax. If they had just committed for that, I think Slark's diving back a little bit, trying to go for that Zeus. Maybe a little bit of overcommitment there, tried to get the Shadow Blade off, but the Lion respawned too quick. Was able to get there and hex him just in time before he could Shadow Blade away. And now they're going to have to get the creep wave, make sure that they don't get pushed in on. They have buybacks on all the important heroes, as in the 2 that are dead. Now, well, 2,000 gold up on the axe. We'll see where he wants to go, maybe finish that cloak. Careful here, not sure if this is something he wants. He's going to pop his BKB, and the Shiva's on Shiva's action coming out in the mid lane. Forcing each other back, but nothing's really going to matter as far as that goes. This is well, Zeus, he's got his double ulti, he's got an Ethereal Blade. This is their time to shine. They're going to try and force down the mid lane, but they got to be pretty careful here. If they give up too many kills, they're just going to get counter pushed all the way back, and in the end up losing, probably losing their game and their tournament lives in this Dota 2 Canada Cup. Oh, Fissure comes out from ACC, and is there a glyph as well? Yeah, there's no way they can take out the tier 4s, and this is a very aggressive 5-man push. Axe is going to walk in, gets the Shivas off on a couple, force that forward from the Lion. He's got to be careful though. No one going down just yet. Slark has arrived. He's Shadow Bladed up and moving around the side. He's going to be heading up the middle. Now looking for the Bristleback. He's going to go for him. Hasn't pounced just yet. Instead, Slark's taking a lot of damage. He pops his BKB into Shadow Dance. He's going to be okay. Instead, he gets a bash. A call comes out onto the axe. From the axe as well. Death Ward doing some work on him, but in the end, oh, big Echo Slam from 4AC. Very nicely done. He's going to go down. Triple buybacks him as the Slark does drop to the double Zeus ulti. And now, with the buybacks, I think this is going to be the end of the game, as Funk is going to get cleaned up here. They lose another one. They lose 3. Double kill for the SF. Now that's going to be all 5 having gone down. And a buyback from the Razor, but he's the only one with it. The rest are dead for 100 seconds. 90 on the Bristleback. 52 and 58 on the... That's interesting. You got to clean up the creeps though, guys. Me against the world. 3GN seems to be a little bit salty. And Never Land with the blarg. How hard are they going to search for this? Are they just going to go straight for the Rax? SF TPs to the top lane. They're actually going to look to go for the Razor. This is going to be the dieback on him. No way he's going to be able to make it out of this, unfortunately. And there he goes, dropping to the Slark once again. GG is called. 3GN has to understand that. And it looks like that's going to be the end. Only a 2-game series come out this time. INTZ, they take it in a very convincing fashion in game number 2. Very nice push and very good decision making from them, choosing to trade Raxes instead, then take a fight afterwards. And well, caught without buybacks and on a very interesting push coming out from the Funk Bunch. They do end up dropping the second game. Thank you very much everybody who tuned in. I am your host for the second game, Wolf Dota. And this was the Dota 2 Canada Cup. Quick shout out to the sponsors. We've got G2A.com, Xfire Steel Series, MSI, and as well High Ground TV. They're going to be bringing you the main event. That's the group stage as well as playoffs. Sorry if there was any lag or hitches during the matches, but nonetheless, thank you very much for tuning in. Enjoy the ads and some tunes at the end. Have a good night.